guys, it is, my timer's going off. It is 1:31 p.m. on Friday, the 188th day I'm doing this. Here's your daily dose of hope. I just got off of a webinar, and what I want to say is last night I started a new streak of, I basically created what I'm calling a stimulation bridge. So I got the afternoon or the after dinner routine not down, but like in the works, meaning we're doing it every night. You know what I'm realizing is things don't have to be automatic to still work. So if the only thing stopping something from being automatic is from trauma thinking I shouldn't have to write it down, right? I'm sabotaging myself when I do that. So anyway, I write it down. We did it last night, and I'm in this 5-day challenge, and so one of the steps was to basically go to bed at like a decent hour, and I was already moving towards that in my own journey. So what I did is I basically turned my ADHD towards my benefit. I can hyper focus on things. I can get kind of obsessed with things. But in this case, I was like, you know what? If that's what it takes, because I don't have outside people, I don't have like built-in cues, then I'm going to build the cues myself. And so I realized that there was this, basically the TV would be on at night, and then I would turn off the TV. I got to that point, and then it just felt like I fell off a cliff. Like it just didn't feel good. Now, if you said you have to do that, I probably could. But again, then you're just going uphill unnecessarily. So anyway, last night I wrote it down in my journal. I kept like writing about it because I really wanted it to be top of mind of, okay, like this is going to be a fun thing. Like this is going to be a positive thing. And I had to really let go of, is this going to result in me sleeping much better and feeling more rested? I had to let go of that because I can't control that. And the facts are, I did it. I turned on a podcast. I put the earbud actually in my ear, both for privacy, but also it was a good physical anchor of, oh, now we're in podcast mode. Okay, this is what we do during podcast mode. I used my journal, which I'm still using. Today is day 35 of that streak. So I'm not like journaling like typical. I'm journaling as like my brain, like my lane, keeping me on track. And the bottom line is I turn on the podcast. I even turn off the TV before 9 because I was actually really tired anyway. Turn on the podcast and said, okay, during the podcast, you're going to do these activities. Did those. The podcast was still only like 10 minutes in, and I went, okay, we can go to bed. Like we can get in bed, but we can't bring the podcast with us. Like we got to have the phone plugged in, away from us, the earbuds out, you know? And, you know, I hesitate to share sometimes because it's like you have to be that, you know, granular about it. But I do, because I don't have anybody like actually here. So it's not that an ADHD brain can't do these things, but don't think for a second it's not harder. It's literally harder, okay? But it's not impossible. So anyway, I did that, and then I just attended the webinar, and it was day 5. I don't know how it's day 5, but that's the time blindness, right? And I'm doing like this AI thing, and I'm taking this like walk down painful memory lane, but it's important because it's clearing out, it's seeing where I got stuck in the past. And in my case, it was always because of someone else's just selfishness is the best way to describe it. And me being loyal to them instead of being loyal to me. Because I was trying to fit in, with people you're supposed to fit in with. But like they took advantage of that. That's just the actual truth. So I'm telling myself that because the subconscious will keep us safe. The subconscious will keep us stuck. So I'm like, why am I still struggling with some of these things? It's like, that is why. And it's not a destination, it's a starting point. And it's saying, okay, so that's why. So anyway, I just feel really fulfilled is my damn point, because I got to spend 2 hours virtually with people who get it. And it just felt like when you're with people who get it, that's probably how a lot of people just get to feel all the time. Because the way they naturally are, the way they naturally behave is accepted. So they just are accepted. But even people who don't have that, or they don't have the infrastructure to kind of cover for them, right? That's the people that I really want to, like, if I can possibly help, because we start to think we don't deserve it then. We must not deserve it if we haven't found this. We must not deserve it. And that, or like, we were treated like this by the people who were supposed to keep us safe. Therefore, we must not deserve safety, right? And when you really drill it down like that, no, right? And so, anyway, the bottom line is I'm really grateful. And I feel very intellectually fulfilled because it's like they were speaking my language. And yeah, that's what it's like. When someone speaks your language, you not only feel safe and accepted, you feel fulfilled because you're having this genuine connection. And so anyway, today actually was day 90, which is like a milestone of the car routine. So that's really cool. I would not have known that if I hadn't been doing the journaling. Like, it wouldn't have happened. And I really think that I could help people with this, and I really want to, because I see how much people shrink themselves because they're trying to fit in. And it's one thing if what you want to fit into is actually what you want, right? Like, I think of like a finish line or something. There's all the people. And so let's say you do all the right things and now you're at the finish line with these people. When you imagine that with those people and those like social rules and like that kind of thing, even like not even at work, but just in general, are you actually feeling fulfilled and happy and everything? Or are you just feeling that's all there is, right? And if you are feeling fulfilled, that's great. That's what I think everybody has the right to do. But there's people like me where it's like, it's not enough. Like it's not that it's not good enough. It's just not the right fit. It's the best way I can describe it. And so I'm just really grateful. And I see how me continuing to refuse to give up and give in is allowing me to find different resources that are like situationally nothing has changed. I'm still on my couch, right? But I feel like I got filled up and I got to exchange information, and they're just so open and genuine. And I said it like this, I don't always know when someone's not being genuine, but I know when someone's being genuine. So it's like, it's so hard because I feel like a lot of people aren't going to understand, right? But that's the bottom line, is I would rather have people, even if they have to be digital for now or virtual, that I feel like I'm connecting with, than to put on a show unnecessarily. You know, there comes a point where either life itself or your health or something gets to the point where you can't keep doing the BS and be happy. Like you kind of have to figure things out. and make some tough choices. Or you don't because you just have those people or you're designed that way. But, and like I said, I always think of someone who, let's say they have terrible back pain and they're like, well, go to the doctor. So they go to the doctor and they're like, well, you need to get surgery. So they get surgery. But the fact is they still have the pain. They have two choices at that point. They can say, I guess my back's just messed up and I'm going to be miserable the rest of my life, or even like degenerative, like get worse. Or I can keep searching and I can see if there's alternatives. And that's just my personality. Like, I get knocked down, I get paused, but like anytime I'm like, well, could I take a sip of water? Yeah, you could take I start to see, oh, like there are lots of things you can do. And it turns a day that, let's say, people have let you down or people haven't gotten back to you, from a day of just waiting and feeling that, like, well, they call it RSD. And if you don't have to deal with it, great. But, to I'm in control of how I want my day. The way I say it is I get to control how I experience my day. So that way I'm not dependent on the circumstances. I'm dependent on myself of, and I do have things stacked against me, just like fundamentally speaking. But again, it's like then you still have a choice, and so anyway, I'm just really grateful is the bottom line. I do need to go lay down because my daughter's going to be home. But it's very important for me and my soul to feel like I have, I'm reaching out to people, connecting with people on some level. So when you hit people, when you run into people that are also feeling that way, it's like it lights up. At least it does for me. That's why I always say, like, one of my hobbies or one of my interests is like real connections with people, helping people. Like, that's why I do this, like helping people in a very tangible way, potentially. And, I never know what I'm going to say, and I just speak from my heart, but I do know that you deserve to be here. So no matter how much intrusive thoughts, negative thoughts, people, whatever, you deserve to be here just as much as anyone else. And that is a fact. Like, that's just true. So anyway, okay. I love you guys. You are the sky. You were here yesterday. You're here today. You will be here tomorrow. And like I said, you deserve to be here every single day. And it really hurts my heart to know there are people who are like me and they're battling things that they never should have had to battle. But that's where I'm like, okay, I can be that potential ray of hope, and I really feel like I'm clawing my way out of this box I was put in because other people weren't willing to take the responsibility that they were supposed to. And then people around them defend that behavior. And it's, like I said, it always boils down to, so therefore, by that logic, I can do that behavior. Well, no, you can't. Right? So, anyway, that being said, love you guys. Have a great day.